Sound speeds, and welcome to part 2 of Can a Bad Mic Be EQ'd to Sound Good? Part 2. I didn't say anything about a part 2 in the part 1 video. Well, maybe I didn't outright, but I did hint at it when I said, I'm going to do an experiment, and I'm going to see if there is a way for me to fool you and see if I can fool an industry professional even into making this microphone sound like a $400 microphone. Industry professional, industry pro. Who in the world could I possibly mean? Well, let's think about people that you might know and respect the opinion of. Someone who talks into microphones on his own YouTube channel, and better yet, even large diaphragm microphones like the ones that we're talking about in this video. So if we're talking about large diaphragm microphones, we got to talk about someone who specializes in voiceover and someone who maybe has a YouTube channel designated to talking about voiceover and talking about various different microphones. Well, geez, it sounds to me like we need to reach out to the Booth Junkie himself, Mike DelGaudio. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send out the EQ processed clips, the voiceovers I did, to Mike, and we're going to see if he can pick out the cheap microphone. Wish me luck.
All right, so our friend Alan over at SoundSpeeds has sent us over 4 different files. Same segment of audio, it's my understanding, for 4 different microphones, vastly different price points on these microphones. We're going to try and guess which one is which. The point being, can you EQ a bad mic into a good mic? So we have 4 microphones here. We've got the AKG C4000B. Thanks, Alan. That's been on this channel before. The CAD Ecotech E100. I think that's the E100S. Not sure. We're going to see. The Neewer NW700, really inexpensive mic, and the venerable Shure SM7B. Under normal circumstances, I would say that these should be fairly easy to tell apart, but with an expert hand at EQing, it might be something that we can't tell. I haven't listened to these before. I've got them right here. I've just got them 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to see if we can make guesses. So we're going to do some listening. I guess I'll just play them through, and then we'll start to pick them apart and see if we can tell some differences between them. All right, so here goes number 1.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. Or if you'd like to make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion, again, comment section down below, or you can send me an email at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future sound advice.
That's a bright mic, that one.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. Or if you'd like to make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion, again, comment section down below, or you can send me an email at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future sound advice.
Bassier than the first one.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. Or if you'd like to make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion, again, comment section down below, or you can send me an email at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future sound advice.
Quiet.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can send me an email at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future sound advice.
Okay, so that is the first pass. Now, that actually is going to be harder than I thought it was going to be. First, great job on the EQing, Alan, and gating in your processing. I didn't hear a gate open or close, but I also didn't hear any hiss. And I know that the Neewer I would expect to be a hissy mic, underlying hiss. So I didn't hear that on the first pass. So good production in making a good mic sound better, a bad mic sound better, an iffy mic sound better than it should. Okay, so let's go back and we'll pick some things apart here, because I was making some mental notes as we went through. Some things stood out to me. Let's see if we can figure this out. So let's go back to mic number 1.
Want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. Want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below.
Okay, so this first one, what's standing out to me is this has, my first comment was, it's a bright mic. It's bright. Now, my guess, there's a certain noise you hear in the upper mid-range that sounds raspy, the way I hear it.
want to add something, be sure to write it in the comment section down below. Or if you
Hear that right there, that down below.
write it in the comment section down below. Down below. Down below. Down below.
Okay, so that mic, it's got a certain sharpness to it. I'm gonna hold on to that in my brain as we listen to mic number 2.
Answered or have a question you'd like answered or want to add something, be sure to write it in the comment section down below.
Okay, so let's find that same spot, mic number 2. So we're gonna put a marker there, go back to the first mic, marker there. So, mic number 1. Oops, let me turn off repeat. So
Down below. Down below. Down below.
that and that below sound. It's got a raspiness to it.
Down below.
Okay, now listen to mic number 2.
Down below. Down below. Section down below.
Smoother than number 2.
Down below.
There's that thing. I think I know what mic number 1. Okay, so number 2, my first reaction was,
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something.
that one's got more bass than the first one. So,
Question you'd like answered. Question you'd like answered.
see that warmer? It's warmer? Is the word I'd use?
Question you'd like answered. A question you'd like answered.
Smoother, bassier. Could be, looking at the waveform, it's a little bit louder than the first one. The peaks are a little bit higher, so that's just also, that can be a little bit more difficult when they're not perfectly volume matched, but it gives us a hint. Can go to mic number 3.
You'd like answered or want to add something. Be sure. You'd like answered or want to add something. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something. You'd like answered or want to add something. A question you'd like answered. Question you'd like answered or want to.
So this mic sounds a little bit more recessed in the mids. A little bit, if I was a headphone head, I'd say it's V-shaped. It seems to have a nice top end, a nice bottom end, and the mids seem pulled back a little bit. It's hard to figure out the right words because I don't really have a good technical background to explain these words. It's just what I'm hearing.
Question you'd like answered. Have a question you'd like answered.
This mic number 2 now sounds boxier to me.
Have a question you'd like answered. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something.
Okay, moving on to number 4.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something. Be sure to write it in the comment section down below.
That one sounds the thinnest of the bunch.
Have a question you'd like answered or want. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something.
That one just sounds thinner. Now that's interesting.
You'd like answered or want to add something.
Sounds
A question you'd like answered or want to add something.
It sounds a little bit thinner than 3. So the first one seems bright, almost raspy. The second one seems boxy, almost boomy. The third one seems scooped. It's got that an upper bass, upper treble, recessed mids, and number 4 sounds thinnest. Now this is after the EQ curve. That's how I hear it. That's how I hear it. So I'm going to make some guesses here. I think mic number 1 is the newer. I think mic number 2 is the sure. And now this is harder. The AKG versus the CAD. I think, and this is all very subtle here, very subtle guesses. I think mic number 3 is the CAD, because as I think about my other CAD, it does feel, it's a very smooth mic, and I feel like it does have a bit more of a scooped EQ to it. And I'm going to guess that leaves the AKG for number 4. Now I think when I said thin, it sounds the flattest of the bunch. It sounds the most even across the board. It's very smooth sounding. I hear none of that raspiness.
Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make.
Seems smoothed out. It's not really bright. It's not really bassy. The mids are present. The whole thing seems a little bit recessed, and that could just be a volume thing compared to the other ones, but it feels very flat. And I think the AKG is probably the flattest mic of the bunch. The CAD, I know one of the reason voiceover artists like it is because it can be, you can really get up on there. It's one right here. You can really get up on there and have it be a real present mic. The Shure, being a dynamic, often has a bassiness to it, a boxiness, a roundness to it. It's really, it's just the nature of the dynamics. They tend not to be, they don't have a response that goes up nearly as high, which makes them sound a little bit more, a little bassier, a little boxier. And then for me, what feels like the giveaway for mic number one, making it that newer, is that raspiness, that hallmark of the really inexpensive mics, is they're really bright, almost to the point that it sounds a little bit like a cheese grater in the mid highs. So those are my guesses. We'll see if I'm right.
So we did pull one over on Mike because number 2 was our cheap microphone. Now, this time I'm going to send over the raw unprocessed voiceovers and see if that makes him change his mind.
So now we've got the second email. Now this one contains the raw mics. I haven't listened to these at all again, and I've placed them in line here. I neglected to mention, the observant will notice that there is an FX turned on for the edited. It was just the spectrograph. I thought I might be able to pick it apart, so I installed a spectrograph FX. That doesn't actually affect anything about the sound. It just was going to let me visualize it. I decided I couldn't tell. I was going to look for hallmarks of the gate or something like that, but didn't need to. So that's what that was. So let's see. So now we're going to move on to the raw, and we'll see if we can hear a difference. Let's just listen to it all the way through. I gotta mute the EQed track, and we're gonna listen to just the raw.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write in the comment section down below. Or if you'd like to make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion, again, comment section down below, or you can send me an email at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. Or if you'd like to make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion, again, comment section down below, or you can send me an email at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. Or if you'd like to make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion, again, comment section down below, or you can send me an email at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can send me an email at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future sound advice.
Shows what I know. So now I think totally different things. I think totally different things based on that. And what made me think that is listen to number 4.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion.
Now that sounds like as I listen to number 4, comparing it to the way it was before.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below.
That's interesting, isn't it? Let's get those lined up. Look at that. There's plosives in there that got EQ'd out. Nice work. Nice work. All right, so let's see what we got going here. Let's A-B these back and forth, just like I do with the other mics. Let's see what we can get out of number 4 here. I'm just going to go back and forth and listen to them in sequence. We'll hear the difference. Hear the difference of the EQ curve.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can...
Totally different. It really does make the two totally different. And so clearly the highs have been significantly boosted in the post-processing for this microphone.
Have a question you'd
Listen to that.
have a question you'd like answered or want to add?
All the bass comes out and tons of treble come in.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add?
Thins it right out. So maybe that's not the AKG. That's the way this works. Let's see. The point here, though, which I think Alan is making a really good point, is that the processing you do can have a significant impact on the sound of a microphone, can it?
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below.
No, not a huge change there.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it. Have a question you'd like answered or want?
It's a little bit more honky, nasal. Nasal, that microphone, that particular sound there to me.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add?
Well, doesn't sound like much happened to it at all. That's pretty subtle. Let's see.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. Or if you'd like to make a suggestion.
Now, doing it by that, it makes it a lot harder. I think my initial guesses are. I don't think my initial guesses are correct. I don't think they're correct. Doesn't mean I'm going to change it, but I don't think they're correct. So I said Neewer, Shure, CAD, AKG. And so let's just listen back to the unprocessed ones one more time and see what our guesses are. So I'm going to mute track number 1. Just listen to the raw.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. Or if you'd like to make a suggestion for a future topic of discussion. Again, comment section down below. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below.
Ooh, I don't like the way that one sounds like that.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section.
That one sounds thinner.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add
And that
something?
one
Be
sounds
sure to
muted.
write it in the...
That one sounds muted, doesn't it? Now it feels like the last one is the Shure. Now it feels like number 4 is the Shure.
A question you'd like answered or...
Number 2 that I grimaced at before. Maybe what happened was it was so thin. I bet number 2 is the Neewer. Now hearing the before and after.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write...
I'm not in love with the way that one sounds.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section.
I think number 4.
Have a question you'd like...
Now in this round, not knowing the difference, I would have said number 4 is the Shure.
Have a question you...
Number 2 is the Neewer.
Have a question you'd like...
I don't like that one.
Have a question you'd like answered or want... Have a question you'd like answered or...
Number 1 is the CAD, and number 4 is the AKG. I'm sorry, number 3 is the AKG is the way I hear it. So I clearly have something. I probably have them all wrong. But that's my guesses. So I'm going to stick with my first guess that it was. See, I think I'm conflating this. I think I'm listening to the EQ as if they were raw, and I'm still trying to carry through the EQ curve as if it was the raw unedited. Because the raw unedited to me sounds like...
Have a question...
Ooh, let's do that.
Have a question you'd like answered or...
AKG.
Have a question you'd like answered...
Neewer.
Have a question you'd like answered...
CAD.
Have a question you'd like answered...
Sure is what my guess would be if I was hearing it raw. AKG, Neewer, CAD. So the only one I think that sounds the same-ish is the CAD. Now the sound signature between the CAD and the AKG, really not that familiar with. It could be a toss-up. Two really excellent mics to my ear. Both of those sound okay. They sound okay. That number 2 in the raw
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add?
does not sound great. And that sounds more like that sound, that raspiness, that upper mid raspiness, that reminds me of what I'm hearing up here in the processed.
Write in the comments.
Oops, sorry.
Write in the comments section down below, or if you'd like to make a suggestion.
A certain upper mid brightness, raspiness that it could be EQ'd in. So my initial guess, so yeah, it does change my mind. Sorry, I'm going on way too long here. It does change my mind a little bit. The EQing between the raw and the EQ, it does change my mind. But my initial guess was, and it's wrong, Neewer, Shure, CAD, AKG. And my second round of guesses was, what did I say, AKG, Neewer, CAD, Shure. So tell me, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Great challenge. Great challenge. I really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to hear the answer.
Okay, so we got to go over which microphone was which. Number 1 was the Shure SM7B. Number 2 was the Neewer NW700. Number 3 was the CAD Equitech E100. And number 4 was the AKG C4000B. Now, here's an interesting thing about this. In order to properly EQ these to make you fooled by them, I kind of had to, I guess you could almost say, even the playing field. That means making some of them kind of lose their characteristic. What makes them a special microphone? What makes them lose their sound? Anytime you equalize a microphone, you're basically distorting the sound of it just a little bit. Now, what I had to do in this is I had to equalize the cheap microphone quite a bit to make it sound on par with the others, which meant warping them, in my opinion, because you're basically taking a good quality microphone and making it sound less than good. You basically had to warp those microphones in order to pull one over on you. And the way you had to do that is kind of lower the quality and put it on par. So that's not by any means the way I would normally EQ a microphone, but I wanted to, for this particular test, to see if I kind of leveled the playing field and made them all sound more or less the same. If you kind of dig deep and you listen deep into those audio clips, could you determine which one was the cheap microphone? Did I fool you? Tell me in the comment section down below if I did, if I didn't, and because I know that you're going to be wondering if I don't say it in the next video, there is going to be a part 3 where I do discuss the processing that I went to, and I'm even going to show the equalization that I did to each microphone. So stay tuned here to SoundSpeeds, where we have fun warping the total quality of microphones and offering you sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for future topics of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can email me at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on future sound advice.